Hello friends, welcome to today's tutorial. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you what's the difference between loc and iloc. When I started coding in Pandas, it always confused me. So that's why I thought that it's a good idea to show you the differences. So I'm going to import the Pandas library as PD, and I'm going to write down the basic difference between loc and iloc. So the difference between loc and iloc. So in this case, let's take a look at first what loc does. Loc is actually getting us rows and or columns with particular labels. So labels are the indices that we have for the data frame 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. They can be customized. On the other hand, iloc gets rows and or columns similarly, but this time with particular integer locations. So loc and iloc, they take a look at the indices very differently, and that's what is creating the difference. So let's take a look at an example. I'm creating a data frame here, pd.dataframe, creating a dictionary. And from the dictionary, I'm going to create the data frame. My data frame will contain two columns. First one is ID, where we have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 5 IDs, and their corresponding names. ID number 10 is Alice, ID 20 is Bob, ID 30 is Charlie, ID number 40 is David, and 50 is going to be Elon. I'm also assigning customized indices. If we do not provide index parameter here, automatically the data frame will have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as the index number. But this time, for our tutorial, I'm going to provide some customized index 200, 0, 100, 2, and 300. Let's take a look at the data frame. So we have 5 rows and 2 columns, and the indices are there, which are customized, starting from 200 all the way to 300. Now let's take a look at the differences by example. So df.log 100, we send out the integer 100, which means that okay, from the data frame, give me the row that has the index level equal to 100. And for iloc, if we put 100, it is trying to see what exactly my 100th row is. There is no 100th row, and that's why I'm getting out of bounds error here. Let's take a look at this second example. I'm just putting df.head so that we have the data frame here, and we're putting df.log, and we're having a slice 200 to 100. So what it is doing is that in our data frame, it is trying to find out the rows with label 200 and printing out all the way to the rows 100. For iloc, however, this is interesting. Although this is the indexes 200 to 100 is not present there, I'm not getting an error, rather I'm getting an empty data frame. Again, this is my data frame. Let's take a look at another example. This time I'm printing df.log, but I'll start from 0 all the way to 200. As 0 and 200, they are not sequential. I don't get any value. I just get an empty data frame here. So there's a difference if you're using slice. You have to be careful. Now, another example is if we put some lists there inside our df.log. So this is actually saying that, okay, from our data frame, find out the rows with labels 200, 300, and 2. What happens for df.iloc? It is similarly going to give us a data frame with 0th index, 4th index, and 2nd index. So we've seen rows so far in operation inside our df.log and df.iloc. What happens if we also want to play with the columns? So for df.log, I'm going to provide again a list of values there, and I'm going to find out only the names. Here I'm getting too many indexers error because I have not provided enough brackets there, and this is working for me. So I'm just getting the rows with labels 200, 300, and 2 with names only. What happens for iloc if I put name there? It is going to give me an error because in iloc I cannot actually use strings. Cannot say that, okay, give me the name column only. I need to provide a few things there if I want to get to that column. First, I can use a slicing technique, just like this, 0 to 2 or 0 to 1, 0 to 2 give me gives me all the column names, where 0 to 1 is going to give us just the ID column. In a similar way, we can also provide just one integer there. Okay, for this one, give me just 0th or first column. We can provide just one integer. Another way of using the columns in our iloc is creating a second list. So this is telling us that, okay, give me 0th, 4th and 2nd index with columns 0 and 1. For df.iloc, this is interesting. If you even put 0 to 3, although I do not have any in a column with index number 2, it is not going to give us any error. It is going to provide us all the column names. And df.log with 2 columns, 2 slices only without any digits, and for iloc again in a similar way they're going to provide us the entire data frame. This is not a difference, this is a similarity of the two. Now I'm creating a third column here for demonstration, which is going to be my salary column. It is going to have 5 different salaries for 5 different people. And I'm going to show you some power that df.log will have. So here I'm having 5 salaries. I can actually play with df.log and put some conditions there like this. Okay, find me the rows where the salary is greater than 2,500. So it's going to give us the bottom 3 rows, and I'm going to put this condition inside df.log. So this is going to give us the data frame. You see that the last 3 rows are getting selected. Now I can have multiple conditions inside df.log. This is another power. So I'm saying that, okay, give me the rows with salary greater than 2,500. And also you see that I have Charlie, David and Elon there. I don't want Charlie there, so I'm saying that df name is not in Charlie, so it's going to give me the rows with David and Elon only. So I can have actually multiple conditions inside df.log, but for df.iloc you cannot have any conditional statement like that. So I'm going to demonstrate another interesting difference here. Here is my df.head. You can see that I have my indices labeled as 200, 0, 100, 2 and 300. I'm just resetting the index. Let's not drop the index. So let me show you what happens if I do df.reset index. So in my data frame, the indices are now reset from 0 to 4. However, my old index labels are becoming a column. So I can actually use a parameter called drop equal to true, which is going to drop the index column from my data frame if I do the reset index. So this is my data frame right now, 5 rows with 3 columns, and the indices are sequential. So if I put df.log 0 to 3, then it is going to provide me 0 to 3. But however, if I put iloc 0 to 3, it is going to provide me 0 to 2. So for log, if you have slicing there, then it is going to be inclusive, but for iloc it is not. So that's a big difference. So I hope you have enjoyed today's tutorial. Please subscribe my channel and press like button if you really liked it.